Swank.
All right, guys.
Osric.
Are you ready for the big surprise?
You ready to go? All right, get ready for a little badass costume music. You guys ready? Here we go. You ready to amaze people?
Okay.
Count to three, count to three, count to three. Nothing, but I've never seen you dressed as a dude. So to me, this is a miracle. This is the first time Rob Benedict's not lusting after you when you walk on stage.
It's true.
Or is it? I don't know. I don't want to speak for you.
Okay. Just don't leave just yet. I need some emotional support.
And you're
actually,
going to
Rob, you say.
Thank you. How dare you?
Okay.
How dare you, Rich?
Okay, so quick thing, and it's unfortunate, but I have to tell everyone that I won't be cosplaying this weekend.
Say it so.
No,
you usually drop
it's killing me. It's killing me. No. Okay, this was going to be the big one. I spent how many cosplayers are there out there? There's a good group of you. Okay,
I've seen your Abe Lincoln.
Guys, every time you do karaoke, you're cosplaying. You realize
that's why I raised my hand.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I thought
what part of yes?
I thought you were being sarcastic. I can't.
No, he dresses as Abe Lincoln, and we dress up every.
Okay, yeah, right. You're right. You're right to raise your hands. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So I spent a year planning this one out. I went through 6 different companies. This was the craziest one. I actually pulled out every single stop I could. I found the best guy. I have the guy that I ended up choosing. He was a finalist on the show Face Off. He's incredible. Now, I'm telling you all of this because even though we plan for the biggest and craziest thing, sometimes it just doesn't fall through. And I mean, yeah, I could have pulled a couple of contingency plans, but at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should show people that sometimes when you do all or nothing, nothing happens. So this is one of those things. So it's been crazy. He actually, a couple of problems arise, but he was gonna ship it over to Vancouver. It didn't end up happening.
Is that why the ship is here? Did that bring the cost up?
That would be big enough to hold it. Thank you.
But I ship the ship.
What happens if you ship and ship? Is it ship?
It's ship. Mine's called a Rob ship.
Okay.
What if you ship and a ship?
Okay, I was gonna keep you guys here for emotional support, but I feel like your purpose is
Osric Chau, everybody. Osric Chau.
So, my cosplayer, I'm going to tell you about him because I think he's an incredible guy, and I'll tell you why. His name is Roy Woolley, and he's from Georgia. Now, when the deadline, we had planned this, he was going to finish at the beginning of July, end of June, and it just kept getting pushed back. This project was crazy, and at the beginning of this week, he's like, all right, I'm finished, and I won't be able to ship it because of customs, it won't get there. And so what he does instead is he drives from Atlanta, Georgia to Vancouver, and he arrived this morning at 7 a.m. And so I have no idea. He's not the best with emails and probably not when he's driving. So I have no idea where he's at. Yesterday he was in Wyoming, and things just kept changing. And so this morning he shows up. I'm awake at 7 a.m. We meet at the bottom of this parking lot is empty, and it's so sketchy. And I hadn't even met him or talked to him on the phone, so it could have been a huge scam. But it was the guy, and he drove all the way over. He pulled it out of his car, put it together. We looked at it, and he was just standing there. And me knowing what I know of him, I just said, "I'm like, you're not happy with this." And this was really hard for me to say because he just drove 4 days from Atlanta. But he's like, no, this is the 5th version, but I probably could have used another 2. And And so we talked for like maybe 10 minutes, and then he threw it in my car, and then he just drove back to Atlanta. But let me tell you, like, even though this didn't fall through, I love this guy. Like, just the fact that he was 2 months late, and he tried to make it up for me by physically delivering it himself, like, that shows such character. And I'm telling you his name because he's gonna finish it regardless. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. Like, this is it. He kept apologizing profusely. Of course, I'm like, no, this is amazing. I couldn't have asked you to do more. But he's gonna finish it. And so I'll have it. And I'm probably gonna go to Atlanta and we'll do a real fitting and stuff. And so, cosplay problems, right? And so I can't tell you anything else about that. Let's talk about something more fun. So, I've been playing these stupid cell phone games for the longest time, and I realized I had a problem when last week my fingers started to hurt. I think I developed some form of carpal tunnel. Because my wrists were hurting, and it was this tapping game, and I was really good at it, and my fingers were like really in pain, and I'd wake up at 3 a.m. and do this, and it was awful. And then I deleted it, and what I have instead is this beautiful game, and it's called Neko Atsume, and I'm so addicted to it, so I want to share with everyone. If you can zoom in on this, it's a game about cats. Oh, look at this guy, he's so fat and full. So the idea of this game is that you put food out into your lawn and these stray cats come. And as an offering, they leave you sardines, and you can use these sardines to buy other cat food and toys to play with. And then you take pictures of them and you catalog them. So look, I got Ghost here, he's playing with the yarn ball. Molly's playing with a watermelon. Wait, Spot's playing with his mouse. Look at Napkin's stuck in this box. They're so cute. And they have little buttholes that are just X's. Wait, can you get a close up of this butthole? Like, can you? No, okay, well. Anyways. One of the incentives for this game is that you can't progress in it if you play it, and so it's great. You know, it's like hands-on, leave the food, wait for them to come, show up at the right time, I can snap pictures, catalog them, I can name them, and my collection is almost complete. And if they come enough, then they leave you treasures and stuff. So okay, let's answer some questions. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing alright. Cat's cheered me up.
We know that you've been traveling quite a bit lately, and I was wondering, what's the strangest food you've had to eat, and how was your reaction to it?
Oh. The strangest... See, strange, weird, all that, it's so subjective. Usually, this is a really big room, so maybe not, but usually I can walk in a room and safely say, I have tried more than everyone in this room combined. Because everywhere I go, I will try all the local delicacies. I will try pretty much anything that most people will squirm at. The only thing that I did try was cow brain. Sorry, not cow's brain. Pig brain. And that was because I just watched Silence of the Lambs and they served it on this silver platter, and I'm like, oh, that's too close. So I'm like, okay, I'll pass on that. Weirdest thing. I mean, we're in North America. I mean, I love cats and dogs, but I've had both cats and dogs. And, so that's kind of weird. The dog was better. I don't know what kind of dog it was. And actually, it was my friend from England who tricked me into eating it, because I didn't go out of my way for it. She's just like, oh, you gotta try this. Tell me, how's it? Is it tender? Yeah? I'm like, yeah, what is it? Chicken? She's like, no, it's dog. I just made you eat dog. And she was so evil about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good. So, cat I wouldn't recommend. But I guess it depends on the breed. Maybe the only thing that I regret eating is silkworm. So, like Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa, the grubs, it's those things. It's like, it was this big, it was like red, brownish. They didn't season it, they didn't really cook it, so that was the only thing that actually tasted exactly like it looked. So I bit into it, it just like burst in my mouth, and it was just a bunch of like glue that didn't taste like anything I was familiar with. But most of the times, like bugs, usually they fry it really nicely. Like scorpions, grasshoppers, they'll taste like chips. And you just crunch into them. Live octopus is a little bit weird. The baby octopus, because if you don't eat it right, it can kill you because it'll crawl into your lungs. Funny enough, I am actively trying to live a vegan lifestyle. So I've tried everything, but usually if I get the option, I'll go for a vegan thing. So I avoid dairy at all costs, and yes, and I don't know, meats, I don't need it. I'm adventurous with it. For social reasons, I eat it, but if I have the choice, usually I'll have the vegetarian option. And it's been really tough on my mom. She loves cooking, but Chinese food really doesn't have that many non-meat dishes for some reason. And a vegetarian friend went to this Chinese wedding, and she asked the caterers, like, hey, I'm a vegetarian, and they just looked at her and like had no idea what she meant. She's like, oh, I don't eat meat, and they still had no idea. So, and they pointed like shrimp. It's like, no, that's still something alive. So yeah, no, I've tried a lot of weird food, and as a kid, I was the one eating worms and dirt and stuff. So, but I wouldn't consider that weird. It's everywhere. So okay, I tend to ramble on. Just feel free to stop me at any time. Wait. What was the weirdest thing you've had?
That depends on the category.
Whoa, what's the weirdest category?
Does horse food count?
Try like that. Hay or carrots?
No, I mean like horse food, like pellets and...
Horses have pellets?
Yes. It's called alfalfa, no, that's the hay.
Is it good? Should I try it?
It's...
Interesting.
It just tastes like dirt, really. It's not that good.
And why did you eat this?
I worked at a stable for a while, and...
And so they eventually treated you like a horse.
No, it was, we had a day where they wanted us to kind of, I don't know, be one with the animal. That sounded so cheesy, but...
Okay, so you eat the horse pellets. Did they make you, like, stand on all fours?
We did a wheelbarrow race, if that
Did they make
counts.
you walk and pee at the same time?
No, we did
gigantic droppings without looking at it?
No, but the horse food was pretty gross. I've done the bug thing, too. Bugs aren't wonderful.
Horses eat grass and carrots, too, though.
Yes.
Okay. Be one with the horses. I'm sure pellets aren't in the wild, so that just seems a little
I don't know.
weird.
It was a dare. I wasn't going to back down from it. It wasn't really that bad.
Well,
I felt sick.
Well, good on you.
Because it expands when it gets wet.
Never backing down from a dare. You know who that reminds me of? Jared. He will... I think he's always done every dare we've dared him to do. Which is very funny. The last one was in Italy, and there's this like glob of cheese, and it was so gross, no one wanted to touch it. Someone dared him to eat the whole thing. And he did. It went something like this. Here's to not forgetting where you came from. And he was like choking for 10 minutes. It was awful. It was awful. But awesome, thank you. Thank you for sharing your horse life. Is there a lineup over there?
Yeah.
Oh, hi.
So just for reference, I know a good hand surgeon if you need one.
Sorry, can you say that again?
Just for reference, I know a good hand surgeon if you need one.
Hand surgery? I really hope it's not that bad. That would be awful. Can you imagine me needing hand surgery from playing stupid phone games?
I've done those, so yes, I can't imagine that. So, speaking of video games...
I actually went to a physiotherapist to see the wrist. It was that bad. And then I deleted the game. Almost didn't. Okay, sorry, yeah.
If you were able to fan cast your favorite video game, What video game? Who's in it?
Favorite video game? You know what? Super Smash Brothers. I've always wanted a video game. And I don't know, you know, for that kind of game, I don't know if you really care so much about the cast. It's the characters that you really want. So I don't want to know who's playing them. You know, I want it to be that good. But that being said, I might be working on one of my favorite video games soon. I don't know if I can say anything yet, so I won't. But
what's your favorite video game?
On video games, I love video games, and potentially working on my favorite ones. Yeah, Super Smash Brothers. Anything. That's like one of my favorite games. I have a DS, and I just decided that I'm gonna get the Super Smash Brothers on it, just so I can play, because I've been playing some people and they're really good, and the competitive side in me won't let that slide. So I have to learn. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, out of all your cosplay outfits, which one's been your favorite and why?
I say this with anything. So anytime anyone asks me a favorite anything, I have a hard time answering, because I feel like, say, just places that I've been. Like, what is my favorite city? It's really hard, because if I have a favorite city, most of the time I'm not there. Therefore, I'm going to be very sad most of the time, because I'm not in my favorite city. So, for anything, there's always good, bad. In Vancouver, this is my hometown. It's great. I love it. But at the same time, is it my favorite city? Well, it's my favorite city for family and friends and the greenery and the food and everything. LA, is it my favorite city? Well, for the industry, for work, you know, auditions, networking, all that stuff, that's my favorite city. So, what was your question again? Oh, cosplay. And so I have different favorites for a cosplay, like Princess Bubblegum and Rapunzel. Those two kind of kicked everything off, and so it will always be a very special place in my heart for those two. Ariel, all the girl outfits, right? Yeah, Ariel, yeah, it was just for the opening and the entrance and the exit for Ariel. Loved it, and you know, it was a really cool hoop skirt thing. And Gil was involved, and I loved trolling Gil for some reason. And Carl Fredricksen from Up, just because I love that movie so much. And I walked, and the coolest thing about that is I did a photo shoot with Meg, who's somewhere here, and we went to a park with a bunch of balloons and had a bunch of kids come up to me asking for photo ops because I was Carl Fredricksen, and that's the coolest thing. So I'm like, oh right, I forgot that, you know, this is a character, and you know, coming from a supernatural convention where that's, you know, it's like, oh yeah, it's Osric and Carl Fredricksen. See, these kids, it was, oh, that's Carl Fredricksen, played by some dude. So that was really nice. And Vancouver, the one I had prepared for today would have been one of the favorites, but who knows? So yeah, that is my answer. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
So in Gishwas, sometimes things don't always go as expected.
Oh, never.
So
what did you do?
What did I do? I did lots of stuff, but
okay.
I wanted to ask, for this year, did you have any items that you did that surprised you and how difficult they were, or did everything just go really well?
You know, I was not planning on doing any items. I'm like, oh my god, I'm so busy, I'm in the middle of a move, I have to do this project, I'm flying this here. But I ended up doing so many things. You know what? The most fun one was the underwater ping pong. Okay, got it, cool, check. Ping pong table, don't have, but, you know, started asking around. And I'm like, okay, it's actually not that hard. Pool is hard to have, got that. Ping pong table, we have one, but it was like transporting the ping pong table to the pool. That was like another thing. It's like, okay, doesn't fit in a normal car, doesn't fit in a large car, now we need something else. Ended up buying a smaller ping pong table off of Craigslist for $20.
Did it float? Because ours floated. And
it did not float, because I think it was so old and it was made of metal, and so that was the way to go. And it was so much fun, and then we actually played with the egg, and it worked out, I don't know, that, and I had to get the underwater camera case, like, for my phone, so that was something else, and now when I take baths, I can take my phone in there with me. Just realized that. And I went hang gliding.
I heard about that.
That was so much fun. Wait, is that Natalie?
Yeah.
I went after you. You had terrible luck. Your mom was so upset. Is she okay now?
She's okay. She's
coping. That was incredible. So, okay, I went hang gliding, same company as Natalie over there, and it was so sketchy.
Yeah, she told me about it.
Basically, we showed up at this place, no one's there to greet you or anything, you can't tell who's where, and then some guy will just tell you to sit into, like, oh yeah, just jump into this really beat up old van with a bunch of other dudes, and then they just drive away. But it was so much fun. And they said this, and I believe it's the closest thing you'll have to feeling like a bird. You know, you just like jump off, and then I don't know. It's so crazy. And your backup is a parachute. So worst case, you're parachuting. Oh, that was so much fun. And I was in an Elopus outfit. I mean, a lot. Every time I do the Elopus, like so many dildo jokes. So I had another one, and it was like coming out of my chest, and so like the entire van ride, I have all these sketchy dudes making dick jokes at me. I mean, it was fun, but it was just weird. Yeah, no, Gishwas is always one of those things that, you know, surprises you, right? I think that's the purpose of it. It gets you to do all these things that you never would have done it anyways, and it really shows you the world of possibilities that you might have shut down. And this is something I tell a lot of people, and I think Gishwas really is the essence of that. When someone tells me they want to do something, but they can't do this because of this, I tell them, there are millions of people out there that will say no to you. You can't be one of them, right? And Gishwas is one of these events that really reminds you that you just have to say, okay, but I have to try anyways. How do you get a car upside down backspinning? You start asking questions. Right? And it's really cool to see how many people just jump on board for it, so... Oh my god, what is that? Wow, sorry. Good job. That did not go wrong. No cosplay problems there. Okay, I'll come back to that. But, wow. It was really cool because the silhouette was... Okay. And even like the Tai Chi breakfast, you know, it's like, I've never really had raw egg like that before. You know, a lot of things. I really enjoyed Gishwas this year. And I really had no expectations for it, so it was fun. Did you have a favorite item that you did?
She went back to her seat.
Oh, is that Natalie I'm talking to now?
Yeah, hi.
Okay, well, there it is. I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Hi.
Hey, Oz.
Hey.
Although I'm maybe just a tad disappointed in the non-cosplay thing, I totally get it. Sometimes you just can't. Although there are the others of us that can totally, ridiculously represent us right behind me.
Yeah, I know, right?
Can you even think to match that? Holy hell, everybody listen to this.
That is...
Never met this person before, but I think it's probably one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen. Oz, I love your enthusiasm, your grace, everything you've brought to this fandom. How weird was it to die? And I never want you to ever do it again.
Okay, would I die again?
How strange was that to actually play your final stroke, I guess?
Okay, so there are different moments. When I was actually shooting the death scene, it was the saddest thing in the world. Saddest thing in the world, because I thought it was going to be the end. And, you know, it was just a somber day with all of the cast and crew, and, you know, we all knew, like, oh, this is it, you know? Like, we'd all gotten comfortable with the idea that I was going to be around. Like, especially a lot of the crew members who I just got used to seeing so often, you know, I never really had that, I never had that 9 to 5, but if this was like a day in the office type of situation, that was the closest I'd ever felt to that. So all these people who I was so close to. You know, we all, I know, it was like the last day. It was like, this is the last day. And we all, you know, slowly said our goodbyes, like, well, I guess this is it. You know, and it was a very quiet day. And the last scene was me on the floor, so my eyes were completely covered. I was blind for the last 2-3 hours of that day. And everyone was quiet, and so all I heard was Jensen saying, Kevin, Kevin. You know, and that was it. So sad. And at the end of it, like, I couldn't even bring myself, like, after I took off the prosthetics, like, they ushered me off set, I couldn't even bring myself to go back and say bye to everyone. Like, I already said bye, and I just had to go off, because I couldn't handle it. So that was really sad. During the airing of the episode, though, I had heard that they were going to bring me back, so it was less sad. I'm like, okay, all right. It was still sad, but it was at least lessened. I'm like, okay, let's see what they have in store for me. So it is weird, though, you know, when a show like this kind of sweeps you off your feet and takes over your life entirely, you know, to have it taken away like that, and not entirely, you know, because I'm still part of the fandom, but it's, you know, it's a shock. It's just like my family moved houses a month ago. This is the house that I grew up in, the only house I'd ever known, so coming back here was weird, knowing that someone else, I don't know their name, I don't know what they look like, is living in my room that I've had since before I was a baby. You know, it's kind of like that feeling. I don't know how to react or how to feel about it. But it's happened, and I'm still adjusting to the new place. So yeah, that's kind of what it is. I mean, obviously it sucks to die. For the longest time, I had never died on a show, and now I just keep dying on every show. So. I suppose it's something you get used to, but at least I'm a ghost, right? You can't die as a ghost, right? Oh yeah, you can. All right, never mind. What can't you do on the show? They can always kill you in so many different ways. Yeah, still adjusting. Thank you. Hey, Natalie.
Hey. Okay. So I was wondering what your most memorable birthday was.
Most memorable birthday? You know, I never really celebrated my birthday too much. So my birthday is July 20th, and it's the summer. So during school, everyone's kind of off on holidays. And when I was growing up, I used to think that my parents were super poor and weren't able to afford anything. And because my brothers were always begging and screaming for things, you know, I just wanted to be the opposite. And so I was very forceful and angry about them ever buying me anything. So if they bought me like a watch or a bike, I would just make them return it because I didn't want them spending money on me. My birthday was never something that I really, celebrated, because it was just a day like any other day. But the one time that I had a celebration was in Beijing, 2011, I think. I was turning 25, maybe 2012. My roommate was there, and I was just going to stay home and I probably watch TV on my computer or something. And he's like, oh, it's your birthday. We should do something. This was the only fat burger in China. It's like, and it's considered a really fancy restaurant. So like, we'll go to Fat Burger. So we went to Fat Burger, and my roommate just started texting people. And within an hour, like 30 people showed up. And they're all friends, industry people, like casting directors, producers, like people, like it was just like the weirdest thing. We all had Fat Burger. Someone even went out and got the only cake that they could, which was a boob/penis cake. Like, how do you do that in an hour? Very impressive. And so it was like a really fun thing. And then we went to these Chinese clubs, which I had never been before. So we went to these Chinese clubs, and our group was not just people my age, but we had like 40, 50, 60-year-olds. And they were all tearing it down on the dance floor, and it was like the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. Like all these people, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know you could move. Like, here you were dancing. And then there was four of us, 4 dudes, and we all had backpacks for some reason. I don't know why, but that became a thing. And we decided to go to every single Chinese club on that strip, because we'd never been to all of them, any of them, and they all had ridiculous names, and we just went there. And I don't drink alcohol at all, but they were all so drunk by the end of the night, and I was so tired that I kind of felt like I was just at that same level of consciousness. And it was, it was a fun night. But it wasn't really even a celebration after that point. It was just a couple of guys hanging out and trying to speak Chinese. And it was fun, There were so many lasers.
The rest of the only thing you need for a good birthday.
Yeah. Sounds so stupid, but yeah. Thank you, Natalie. Hi.
Hey. All right, so I want to bring it over to the Hillywood show a little bit. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to say you were an excellent Sam. You made a fantastic Sam. The luscious hair in itself was great for it. I love it.
Now imagine if I ended up playing Crowley. Because that was the original idea, because I was pushing for it. Like Crowley. And then anyways, okay.
Okay, so my question for you, watching it all the way through at the end, I really enjoyed seeing the little cameo of Amy Wong from Futurama. Was that your idea? I need to know.
Hold on, is Diane here? No. Okay. This was Diane Brewster, who's she goes to a lot of conventions. She came up with the idea. She's like, oh, you know what? You should do Amy Wong when you do a thing with Laura next. And I'm like, that is a brilliant idea. And she's like, I'll put it together for you. It doubled for the Gishwas item because I had a velour tracksuit that I never thought I would have. But yeah, basically she brought it. I had it. I crashed Lauren's panel with it. Lauren shrieked as she does, and it was in Vegas Con where we shot all the cameos, and so I was in the costume and I brought Lauren over, and she's like, oh, just come in with me, and so I just jumped in with her.
Nice, I really appreciated that. Yeah. I think you made a great Amy, don't you guys think?
Yeah. Isn't that weird? I think all of my most popular cosplays are the sluttiest ones. Not that Amy, well, yeah. Hi.
Hey, Osric. My question for you is, if you were a tree, what kind of tree would you be?
From the Pacific Northwest, an evergreen. Probably a pine tree. What a weird question.
I've asked Gil, Tyler, and Mark Pellegrino. Gil said, I asked him last year if he'd be a pecan tree. Mark Pellegrino said he'd be a Mark Pelletrino. And Tyler said he would be a Christmas tree.
Ah, good answer. Wait, what kind of tree would you be?
Maple tree.
Maple tree? Ah, Canadian.
I'm Albertan.
That's a great answer. Canadian. I was in the Hillywood show mindset. We were shooting in Oregon for that as well, and the entire time I kept saying, welcome to the Pacific Northwest. I said it probably every hour I had some reference. I'm like, and that is the Pacific Northwest. I'm pretty sure I annoyed the crap out of them, but those evergreens, those pine trees. That's okay. But okay, who's from Vancouver? Oh, who's from out of town? Welcome to the Pacific Northwest. See what I did there? Okay. Hi.
Hi. So my question for you is, do you make your own cosplays? And if you do, what's the hardest thing you've ever had to do for one?
I used to. Start off as really elaborate Halloween costumes. The craziest one that I did for Halloween was a Kirby costume. And this was before I discovered the use of chicken wire and all that. Basically, I had paper mache and cardboard, and I still remember, I want to be in Kirby. I still remember this. And so I had these rings of cardboard, and it was this tall, and it was it was pretty wide. And I started building the frame for it, and started covering it with garbage bags and everything, pink garbage bags. And then I realized that I couldn't fit it through the door. And so
me right now, I have a hard time fitting through doors.
It's tough, but because it was a ball, I couldn't even move it. I'm well, it's not, it doesn't fit. So I had to tear it down and I built another one, and so it was it's yay big, like that. And then I built the base, stuffed it with cotton balls so it looked like a cloud that he was standing on, and it was just my legs. And so I was like carrying it around like this. And it was still really, it was so stupidly big. I had to borrow my mom's minivan to take it around. I couldn't really walk anywhere because I could barely see because, I know, I was bumping into everything. So.
That sounds pretty awesome.
It was fun. That looks great. Can you tell everyone what you are?
I'm sorry? Sorry?
Can you explain your costume? What are you? What?
I am Warrior Cass.
Warrior Cass. But would he really look that good? Would he look that good though? That's crazy armor.
So yeah, so everything is handmade, right down to the wings. Everything's carved in. It was a lot of work, but it was fun.
How long did it take you?
2.5 months.
That's dedication.
And it'll be on me all 3 days.
Very well. Hey.
Hi. This goes along with what Gil said earlier this morning. I know you like trolling Gil, so if you could cosplay as Gil, would you rather do his Princess Jasmine that he mentioned this morning?
Oh.
Or could you cosplay him as Guess Wish, having girls rub butter on you?
Okay. I don't know why, but the first thought that came to my mind when you said cosplay Gil, I'm like, you mean like skin him and like put his skin over my face? I don't know why I went there. Like I don't know if I would do that. Maybe in the right circumstance.
No, don't take off his skin. Just put that.
So
stretch like Gil.
Which version of Gil would I do?
Yeah, which version of Gil would you like to do?
Which version of Gil would I do? Huh. Okay, what are my options? The Prince Eric Gil?
Well, Princess Jasmine, he's mentioned.
Oh, he wanted to be Princess Jasmine?
Yeah, he said this morning if he could be a princess either.
Yeah.
But I'm telling him on purpose.
Interesting. Gil is Princess Jasmine.
Or you can be his Guess Wish version of Gil.
I like the idea of Gil as Princess Jasmine.
I think so too.
Wait, did he say he was gonna do it?
No, he said, don't tell you. That's what he said. Because he doesn't want you to come scare him as Princess Jasmine, and I think you should be Princess Jasmine Gil.
Okay, what do you think? If I brought a Princess Jasmine costume, like Gil, guess what? I heard. do you think he would put it on?
Tell him it's for Gus.
Then I could be Aladdin, or Abu, oh no, or the tiger. No, that's too crazy.
Aladdin? Be Aladdin.
Genie would be fun. But I've learned my lesson with paint. Body paint is tough, let me tell you. That grease-based paint. Jasmine, thank you for that. I'm gonna put it away there. That sounds like fun someday. Jasmine, hi.
I'm a middle school teacher, and I was wondering what your most memorable experience from middle school was, or what do you remember most strongly?
Okay, middle school is...
It's 6th grade through 8th grade.
I never had that.
So like 10 years old to 12 years old? You were never 10 years old to 12 years old?
I was there, okay. So, are you from Vancouver?
No, I'm from Seattle.
Okay, the American school system. So, here I had primary school, which was grade 1 through grade 3. And that's because I was in French immersion, so that was 100% French. And then grade 4 through grade 7 was elementary school, and then grade 8 through grade 12 was high school. So my middle school years, which would be grade 6 through grade 8.
Yeah, like 10 years old to 13 years old about.
And you're asking me my most memorable things from that?
Yeah, like what is one memory that you have that's super, super strong?
That was a very dark time in my life. I used to be a very violent child. And that was when I was really into wrestling, when I thought it was still real. And I got through a lot of bullying through my childhood with my older brother. When I was 8 or 9, I started doing 100 push-ups and sit-ups every single day, just because I wanted to be strong. And so by the time I was in middle school, I was the strongest kid in school, and I was also quiet. I didn't know how to use my words, and so I was, I was very aggressive in that sense. So anytime I would, my sense of social justice was just way off. But anytime I'd see someone pick on someone else, I'd go after that person with the only way I knew how. And so grade 8 especially, I used to get into fights at least once or twice a week. So that is the memory I have of grade 8. That was also about the time when algebra started coming in, and I used to be really good at math when it was only multiplication tables. And when they started throwing in algebra at me, I just couldn't handle it. And so my skills from being good at math, the A's started turning into C's, and then PE became the next thing. I'm like, oh, I'm good at this. And so the C's for PE became A's, and so I kind of latched onto that new identity of being physically fit. And middle school wasn't the best time for me, but I learned a lot from that time. I'm sure you were a great teacher, though. You probably wouldn't have stood for it.
Thanks.
I tried to kill my brother's friend in grade 5. Awful. And actually, the teacher did. That was a big lesson for me. It was a big bullying thing, and instead of talking to someone, I tried to kill him. And the teacher after, they're just like, okay, well, what he did wasn't right, but you shouldn't be trying to kill people. Next time someone bullies you, just talk to someone. I'm like, oh, okay. And so that was like the first nugget of information. It's like, oh, if something happens, talk to someone. And so that was like, yeah. That started an upward trend, but it still took a few years to take effect.
Thank you.
Oh, the dark middle school years. We've all tried to kill our brother's friends. Probably.
Just keep telling yourself that. I'm sure it's normal. So Osric, I know that you did Tough Mudder. You mentioned it earlier. I've got a team going on for September in Seattle, and none of us have ever done it before. So I was wondering if you had any funny stories from your experience or any wisdom that you'd like to share.
Wait, what are you doing?
Tough Mudder.
Tough Mudder?
Yeah.
Oh, Tough Mudder was so much fun. Actually, my knees and my hips and my shins and my shoulders and my wrists and a couple things. I'm a little bit broken right now. But I'm seeing a physiotherapist. They're really working it out. Tamo recommended this great guy, and they're just like massaging all my parts. Watch how you say it. Just so that everything functions properly. Didn't make it much better. So that I can go for longer distances. So the impact on my knees aren't that bad. So I don't have that. Okay, now I don't even try. So I don't get the sharp pains in my hips.
Keep going.
Anyway, it's gonna get fixed, and I'm gonna jump back in the mud. We're gonna do it again. Tough Mudder is great. Who's done Tough Mudder before? Okay, if you haven't done it, it's really not as scary as you think it is. If you don't know what Tough Mudder is, essentially it's like a 10-mile run, 16-kilometer run through muddy obstacles, and it's really fun actually. And go as a group. It's not really something you want to do on your own, because it's more of a bonding thing. And everyone will just run together, and there'll be like bottleneck spots where you can't even run if you want to, and so you're just kind of like wading through the mud. And it's really relaxing. And then you come across these obstacles, and some of them you can do yourself, but even if you can't do them yourself, you wanna do them with a group of people. Like Robbie here, we did a lot of obstacles together that we could have done on our own, but it's just nice to be able to give that opportunity, for someone to give you a hand. And we're just talking about Tough Mudder and how much fun it was.
Otherwise, Jared wouldn't have had anything to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it was great because I roomed with Rob and Rich, and it felt like camping again, or some weird thing.
It was super fun.
It was really fun, right? And it's really not that hard. And even if you get stuck, there'll be other people there like helping you up, and it's
like go with a group.
Go with a group. go with a group and don't.
Or join a group because there are
Or
people
join a
there that
group.
will.
Or if you go, you meet
something.
random people.
That's true.
Yeah.
You do.
And we went all out. We all got like crazy gear and stuff. But really,
We found this guy there on the stage.
some people went in costumes. Some people cosplayed at Tough Mudder.
Yep.
And I was gonna do that, but like, no, I'll wear the uniform.
I made jerseys for us that said Kings of Con, which is a show that Rob and I are making, but it was also when Jensen signed us up for the Tough Mudder, he changed our team name to Kings of Con, which was lovely of him. So I made jerseys, Kings of Con, that had everybody's name, and our age was our number. But it had everybody's name, and so we're doing Tough Mudder, and after a while, people are running along and going to Jensen and Jared like, and they turn to me like, hey Spade, next year, maybe no names on the back. Maybe the Padalecki Ackles thing is a tat on the nose. I'm trying to climb a wall. I love season 9! Thank you!
Actually, it was really funny because they give you beer at the very end, and we had nothing, and so Rob and Jensen were trying to get a beer at the end.
They're like, you need an ID. We're like, we don't have an ID. But this is my age. It's right here. They're like, we don't have anything printed on that sheet. But we didn't.
Almost worked.
It did not work.
And so I got my ID. This proves it. I've written down a number. And that number corresponds with my age.
But she denied. Me and Ackles both got turned away.
After all the selfies you had to put up with.
That's true. Actually, I had my idea, but I don't drink, so that was a big point.
You were dead weight at that point. Ladies and gentlemen, he'll be here tonight. He'll be here tomorrow night. Mr. Osric Chau, everybody. We are the crusty veterans of the convention circuit, Rob. That's the truth. That's the ugly truth.
It's true. And can I, if we didn't, just finishing a thought?
Yeah.
Osric's going to be singing for y'all tomorrow night.
He is.